As we come out of cuffing season and, the sun starts to come out, the birds are chirping, daylight savings is in like 2 weeks for most of us. Um,
Yeah, do we have that now, or is this like a Gulf
I,
of
I really
Mexico
don't
situation?
know.
Or
I don't know if we've decided or not. I was like, the rest of the world who listens to us, we haven't
we
figured it
don't
out.
know. He's about to sign an executive
We
order, be
haven't
like,
figured it out.
we're not gonna do months anymore. Like it's just
We
gonna
don't know.
roll into we just
We just don't know.
just live each
So
day.
this is Shana,
And Kris.
and we are Bad Queers. If you came out of the closet and got put in a box of stereotypes you don't belong to, then welcome to the Bad Queers Club.
All right, this week in Queer Urban Dictionary, I have lesbian boyfriend. Lesbian boyfriend is a lesbian who is a boyfriend and prefers to be known as such. Simple as that. A little deeper dive. When existing within a sapphic context, lesbian boyfriend is completely dislocated from its heteronormative meaning. The term does not necessarily encompass a masculine presenting person or someone who takes up stereotypically masculine task. The only requirement to being a lesbian boyfriend is that one feels comfortable being labeled as such.
Hmm. Labels. Just be doing what labels do.
Lesbian boyfriend.
Lesbian boyfriend. All right. My Queer Urban Dictionary word of the week is the 50-50 myth. The 50-50 myth is a misconception that is harmful to the LGBTQ plus community, but especially the bisexual community. The 50-50 myth is when folks assume that if you are bisexual, you equally like men as much as women, or women as much as men, however you want to phrase it first. My sentence is most bisexual people don't experience attraction in a 50-50 split. Like a bisexual woman could prefer men, but also likes women. It doesn't have to be an equal split. 50-50 myth.
It is a old myth.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I fell
endured
for
the
that when I
test of
first came
time.
out.
Yeah.
Yep. I was like, I remember this to this day. And then I'm just like, oh, my baby queer self who didn't know any better, but had somebody who was just like, you're bisexual. So what is it like 70-30, 80-20? And I was like, duh, I'm bisexual. It's 50-50.
Oh.
And then I learned later that I was loud and wrong.
Mm. Mm. You didn't know any better. It's okay.
No, I
That's all
sure
right.
didn't. I sure didn't.
I definitely believed that it was like a 50-50 liking, for bisexuals where I was like, yeah, it's a toss up.
Mm.
It's 50-50. So, it has been prevalent. Okay. What a myth.
People need to know.
Hmm.
Hope to help somebody today.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead into our category is we're gonna praise, pray tell. Our first category is conception begins at erection.
This was kind of it was cool. It's it's not gonna pass, but um
But I
in a
wish it
provide
would. I
I
hope it
wish
does.
it would. I wish it would, but I like the creativity. We're
Hmm.
asking the Democrats and liberals and folks for creativity and action. So,
Okay.
this is something. In a provocative move highlighting the reproductive rights debate, Ohio Democratic Representatives Anita Samani and Tristan Rader have introduced the Contraception Begins at Erection Act. This proposed legislation seeks to make it illegal for heterosexual men to engage in unprotected sex without the intent of conceiving a child. Offenders would face escalating fines, $1,000 for the first offense, 5,000 for the second, and 10,000 for subsequent violations. Notably, the bill includes exceptions for men using contraception, those involved in sperm donation or masturbation, and men engaging in sexual activities with other men or individuals who do not produce ova. Representative Samani is an OBGYN, so this was
Oh, I
a
love this.
specialty
Oh,
here.
I love this.
Um,
Science.
and emphasizes that the bill aims to underscore the double standards in reproductive legislation, particularly in response to recent efforts to restrict abortion access following the Supreme Court's 2022 decision in Dobbs versus Jackson Women's Health Organization. She acknowledges the bill's slim chances of passing Ohio's Republican majority House, stating that its purpose is to challenge the notion of regulating reproductive rights, whether for women or for men. This legislative effort mirrors a similar satirical bill introduced in Mississippi earlier this year, also titled the Conception, not Contraception, Conception Begins at Erection Act, which sought to penalize men for discharging genetic material without
Mm,
intent to procreate.
mm. What
And
a
this is
sentence.
from LGBTQ Nation. This is, again, it's just to show like, hey, if this is what, or if these are the type of bills we're going to make, let's even the playing field here. It takes two to produce a child and a human. So like, let's, don't just be shooting, just discharging the genetic material everywhere, It's kids. That's
Just,
life,
I just want to
according to
say that
them.
in the streets, be like, were you
Yeah.
out here discharging your genetic material all over the place?
Can
That's
you imagine
crazy.
the raids that would happen if this passed?
Ah,
Yeah. So, it's something. It's not gonna pass, but I applaud the creativity.
I
So,
applaud the Uno reverse.
hmm
I
like,
applaud
oh, is this what we're doing? Then
that
let's do it,
this is almost like an alternative 50-50 myth. Like,
Yeah,
remember, it
in some
takes two to
ways,
tango,
it really does.
but y'all are the ones shooting the things that cause the price. So why?
Hmm
Tale as old as time, tale as old as time. But
hmm
man, this is great. I hope other states just copy paste and put it to
Yeah, why
their,
not?
because
Yeah.
sharing is caring.
Let's do it. If
A
we're gonna
wave,
restrict it,
a
let's do it.
wave.
Let's make sure
Get it
everybody
everywhere,
is feeling it.
everywhere. Change a couple words and it's their own, and it'd be
Hmm
great. It'd be great.
Conception begins at erection.
I love this
Okay.
because it's true.
Yep.
It's true.
So
That's what they don't teach you in sex education.
they don't.
Wow.
Shout out to
Beautiful.
them.
Beautiful. Huge shout out.
Hmm
Ah. All right. Our next category is coming
Come
out.
on out.
Come
Come
on
on out.
out. Okay. I loved seeing this article. I loved reading this. I loved seeing the
Yeah.
things. Amber Ruffin. This is on accountability. Amber Ruffin says that she was wrong to think that she didn't ever need to come out. If you don't know about Amber, she's on Late Night with Seth Meyers. She had the Amber Ruffin show. She now has CNN's Have I Got News for You. She came
So good.
out during, it's so fucking good.
It's so funny.
So
Her,
good.
Woods Jr., and Michael Ian Black. It's like one of the smartest, clever shows on
Brilliant.
CNN. One of the bright spots in
After all the
liberal
fuckery that they
media.
just did,
Yeah, well, MSNBC for sure, but
media is
um,
doing
media,
stuff.
media,
Media.
the
So
media.
yes. So yes. So she came out during Pride last year, which I remember when we announced this, and it was like one of our bright spots for the month because so
Yeah.
much shit
Ooh,
was
what an
happening
awful
during Pride
month.
Month last year.
Awful
And
month.
Amber Ruffin came in and was like, you know what? I will be here to save the day.
Hey, I'm
And she
down.
did. And we were so
Hmm
happy because it was like she gives off
I
queer
mean,
energy, but
you know,
we had never confirmed it. This is the same as like Alicia Keys or how long we were waiting for Queen
yeah.
Latifah.
Those suits for suiting, Amber. We saw it.
We
We
saw
saw
it.
it. I don't know. You just, when you know.
Okay.
Definitely was on the radar, but it was just like, we'll
We'll
wait.
wait.
We'll wait.
We'll wait.
And yeah.
So initially, she believed that her sexual orientation was a private matter and didn't require public disclosure. However, she later recognized that this perspective created an unintended distance between herself and the LGBTQ plus community.
Mm,
She reflected and said, I wasn't ever going to come out because I didn't see the need, but it did, and I was wrong. She emphasized the importance of honesty and visibility, acknowledging that her previous stance, though not malicious, contributed to a subtle sense of separation. By coming out, she has aimed to bridge this gap and fully align her public persona with her true self.
I
And this
love
comes
that.
from them. I
I love
agree.
that.
We've discussed this multiple times
We
about whether or
discussed this
not
many
celebrities
times.
have a responsibility to come out. And we're like, you don't have to, but it helps a lot. So
Yeah.
why not?
And I like that she broke down like the unintended consequence of creating that separation between
Mm-hmm.
herself and the LGBTQ plus community because there's people within our community that want to make that distinction, and I'm not like them and all that. So some people actively create that distance, but yeah, when you don't come out, like it can create that distance. Like you're part of the
Mhm.
community, and it's important for the visibility of it all. And maybe one day we won't need to come out, and hopefully we won't. But until we get to that day, the more visible people that come out, and the more people that come out, it doesn't even have to be celebrities, but the more people who come out. I think you said it a couple weeks ago or pods ago about like best time to come out is now. Like,
Uh,
we don't
it
know
did.
what this world's
The
about to
best
be.
time to
Might as
come out
well.
is now.
Might as well. So that goes for everybody, but certainly, people with high visibility and who are celebrities, like that goes a longer way. So I like this. I was like, oh, that's great. A writer, a writer
A
that Amber
writer.
Ruffin is, a
Hmm.
thought leader, clever comedian. It's great to have Amber on the team. And then to also say this, because maybe it also, if this gets around it, those words can impact people who might not be comfortable yet and that are in show business and, are like, oh, that makes sense. Like
Hmm.
it's still, and you could still be private after this. That's the thing. Like Amber could still, and anybody who comes out could still be private
Yeah.
afterwards. Like
I
you
think
don't have to
Lena
tell her
Waithe is a
shit.
prime example of that. Cynthia Erivo,
Yeah.
prime
Yeah.
example.
I
Like we're only
was like,
just now seeing them
yes,
out in public together, but it's like
yes.
we knew, and then so many
Yeah.
people found out this year. Like, wait, what? And we're like, where have y'all been? It was like
Yeah.
it was truly an if you know you know type energy,
Hmm.
and it's great to be able to see us be like, yeah, we're out and we're dating people and doing whatever
Yeah. Their
in my own
situation
pocket.
is interesting and unique because I'm not I'm not sure
Yeah,
I'm not sure their decision why they want to
I
keep
mean,
it, it's a
yeah,
little,
we know.
but I get what you mean. They still kept it. They still want to be just out
Yes,
there like that, even though they're just like not photographed on red carpets together, but they
yeah.
see each other at the show. Like as soon as you like at the Grammys, you saw it, like everything that Cynthia's at, Lena is there and joins her inside. So it's like they are, but they're like not red carpet official
Yeah.
in its own ways. So,
Everybody has their
um,
own little ways that they do it. But it's like
yeah.
I feel like for personal stuff like Lena, we don't really know
Mm-hmm.
what she's doing
Yeah.
outside of stuff. Cynthia, we don't really know. And those
Yeah.
are just like my first two popped up because Niecy came in my head, but I was like, Niecy has literally talked about the fact that she wants to go and
Man.
fuck in every country, as many countries around the world.
The
So I
opposite.
don't, just
Out and proud,
the
okay?
range
As
that we
soon
have,
as they announced it.
that's the window. That's the window.
Yeah.
Are you Lena Waithe queer or are you Niecy
Mhm.
Nash queer? And
Yeah.
that's the spectrum.
Yeah. Or I would even say, who when I think of privacy, who I think of is a Janelle Monáe because the only person that I know they were linked to was like Tessa Thompson.
Mm.
Or
And even
yeah,
then, that
Thompson.
was
And
so
even
much
then that was so vague,
speculation.
and
We
it's
didn't
just
know what was
like we don't
happening.
know. So Janelle is also like a good example of, coming out and being visible and a very vocal um queer person
Yep.
and that's in community, but you don't
Still
know
calling
who
out
they're
Nelly.
dating.
Nope,
You don't know who they're dating.
not at
So
all.
you could be private as much as you want to be, but
Yeah. I was
you
like,
know,
Queen Latifah is honestly, truly the real winner of
Queen
all of
Latifah
this. Yeah.
is absolutely
Yeah.
little
But
nuggets every now and then, but
I don't want to give the
nothing.
range to Queen Latifah because that's too far. It's too far. It took us so long. We've been watching for
Yeah.
decades.
Yeah. Even though I think that's kind of the best example because
It is.
there was probably some reluctancy, obviously, because of how big Queen Latifah is and how that would have absolutely affected her career if she had come out sooner, probably, like definitely in the 90s and most of the 2000s.
Hmm.
But yeah, and then just kind of quietly kind of gave out. It was like nuggets and stuff like, oh, Queen Latifah is the
Hmm.
at Long Beach Pride, and then it was just like she's at all these other things, and then it was everything to the BET Awards and shouting out her wife. So, you know, options, plenty of options.
So
You could
many.
be as private or out
Yeah.
there as you want
You
to,
know what?
but
You all tell us what your spectrum is.
yeah,
Who would you put on either end? That's what we need to know.
yeah, so many people.
So many people. We love that. All right. Well, let's go ahead to our final category is we're talking the NAACP Image Awards that happened over the weekend. So there was a lot of stuff happening. Not a lot of queer things happening, which isn't really a surprise. Between this and BET, it's like, okay. but we have some people in
Yeah,
the crowd. We have the things.
they have their years and then they
Yeah.
don't.
And this year was like we don't, not really, but we had a few
Hmm.
people. We had some wins. So first, the Wayans family was inducted into the NAACP Image Awards Hall of Fame. We
Well
get our
deserved.
representation through comedian Shantae Wayans. So
Hmm.
if you don't follow her, she's there. She got to get up there with the fam. It was great. It was great to hear their like origin story for the family and how much their oldest brother was impactful and just the journeys that they've
Shout
taken. That family is just so freaking
shout
talented.
out to Keenan Ivory Waynes. Why wasn't he there?
I don't know.
Keenan should have been there. I mean, he's actually very private too. Speaking of privacy, but
So
I
he's
would have
probably
thought
just
he would
like,
have made this. He
he
probably was
said,
like,
y'all go ahead and just
he
bring me
should have
back.
made it here. I don't know if it's health or whatever reasons, but I was shocked to not see him there because of that
Oh, I
big
wonder.
of an honor. And
I have to
he,
Google.
he started, he was the one who forged the path for them as Ivory
Hmm.
Waynes and all that. So, but I hope he's well.
Yeah.
I was surprised he wasn't there though, but shout out to Shantae Waynes.
Yeah. They
That
just,
second generation, they have like 2, 3 generations now of
honestly,
Waynes. Like,
they're in here. They're going to keep it going. We're
yeah.
going to have Wayne's forever.
Hmm.
It's going to be
Yeah.
great. It's
Yeah,
going to
the
be
Waynes
great.
are gonna survive everything. Yep. Be somebody. There'll
Yep.
be one Wayne at least.
Right. Just continuing the
Yeah.
legacy. We love to see
Hmm.
it. So yeah, Kiki Palmer won for Entertainer of the Year. It was great because she got up there and besides that she was just like, that's LL Cool J. Then she immediately turned to Cynthia Erivo and was like, girl, I didn't think I was gonna win this when you win the category.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
not
a
gonna
tough
try and sing
category.
it. I'm not gonna try and sing it, but then she
Go
sang.
ahead.
No. Mm-mm.
Come on.
No, it's okay.
You're a theater kid. Come on.
That's okay.
It'd be just in you, right?
It's okay. Maybe you catch me at
Okay.
karaoke one time.
Mm.
But Kiki got up there. Amazing speech. Proud of her for winning this because honestly, she's had a great year and
Hmm. Queer
she
icon.
is a super queer icon
Hmm.
and just deserves her flowers. So I'm really happy that Kiki won for that. We also had Kerry Washington won Outstanding Actress in a Motion Picture for the Six Triple Eight, and the
I
cast
haven't
of the
seen
Six
that
Triple
yet.
Eight.
Did you see it yet?
What?
6888? I
Friend,
haven't seen
watch
it
it.
yet.
It's so good.
Yeah. I
It's
just
so good.
haven't gotten around to it.
These are the moments that like Tyler Perry reminds us that like he's good at filmmaking
Mm,
and then goes off and does the other things.
yeah. No, I
Yeah.
had turned it on and I was like not in the mood for like a war, World War II biopic or whatever war it is. And I was like, so I haven't gone back to it, but I need to.
That's fair. No, go back to it. It's really good. Really
Yeah, I've
good.
heard good things.
I was in it was one of those I watched with my mom
Okay.
and she was just so invested and so joyful watching it. So
Hmm.
it was great. So I'm very happy that the cast of the Six Triple Eight got their flowers as well. Um I know we had talked about the Quincy Jones memorial performance during the Grammys. So the
Hmm.
NAACP had DJ D Nice come out and do like a DJ set in
Keep it
memoriam and
simple.
then played videos and other things that did that. I was like, I kept it simple, but D Nice obviously did the better choice of music
It's a
than
lot to
what had
choose from. That's
happened.
why it's like it's tough,
A better mix. But
but
I think it was smart
yeah.
to be able to have a DJ who can seamlessly mix in the different tracks and highlight the range that Quincy had. And I
Yeah.
think that was a really good choice to be able to have a DJ set for the
Yeah.
performance rather than trying to get a bunch of people to come on and perform.
Yeah, they saw the Grammys and they were like, okay, okay, all right.
They're like, D
So
Nice,
why don't we
how quick could
pivot
you pull this
from
together?
let's pivot from what we were gonna do and just get one great DJ that can mix everything. And that's
Hmm.
that's the thing is like, obviously that Quincy Jones is a music god and genius. Like there's so much range and stuff. So it's all could be encompassed in a nice a nice DJ set and all that. But
Truly, truly.
got Janelle Monáe in my head. Just
Okay. Uh,
performed hard though. Great effort.
she
Great
just,
effort.
you just want to get her little feet moving.
Hard.
I can't. My shoulders are her feet. That's just, there we go.
Yeah.
As per usual, love seeing Cynthia and Lena next to each other and loved seeing the cute moment between Cynthia and Coleman Domingo because they had similar blazers. They had like pinstripe blazers on
Hmm.
and just styled differently. And it was just, I was just like, look at this queer Black excellence all
Wonderful.
in one space. And it was just wonderful. And then Kamala Harris was awarded the prestigious Chairman's Award.
What a
So,
speech.
what
What a
a
speech. Yeah.
speech. I'm like, y'all
Yeah.
voted against this? But it's fine. It's fine. We're
Every
fine.
day.
Everything's fine.
Every day. And then I just like, God. damn, Kamala's fine. Like y'all on
Okay,
just
that
fineness
outfit,
alone. My God, that was
that
great
outfit.
outfits. Laquan Smith, queer excellence. But yeah, I was like, God damn, Kamala is fine. I do wonder what she does. I know she's signed to CAA, so as representation. So of course there'll be a book forthcoming. But I do wonder
Oh
what
yeah.
she's gonna do. She definitely needs to rest and all that. But she's also very I would imagine her getting back out there. Like that was a great speech. It's great
Hmm.
hearing from her. And I think as the candidates jockey for 2028. I know Pete Buttigieg and some other people are trying to position themselves. Kamala could run it back again.
She could.
If I think she would have to stay top of mind and continue to be out there and talking to people. But, you know, I think it goes a long way that people already aren't feeling what's going on with this current administration. And when I say
Hmm.
people, I mean people even on people who voted for Trump are like, no. I've
Yeah,
seen all
I'm
these
seeing more
Republican
of those
town halls
videos
where
pop
they're
up.
like,
Those town
no,
halls
no.
are
They're so
so
angry.
funny.
It's like,
People
what
are over
shit the
here
fuck
like,
you thought?
somebody came over and was like, "Where's your question?" And she's like, "Well, let me go ahead and ask why this man thinks he's going to become a king." And like all this, I'm just like,
I know
wow,
exact video you're talking about. It was
wow.
such a thick, I think it was a Georgia accent. It was such a thick Southern accent. Like it was
I
a
butchered it
thick
so bad, but
Karen Southern
I
accent. It
was
was
like, wait,
so
where
funny.
is this go? Am I liking what she's saying? And then she continued to ask. And then the first thing that the politician said, they all boo him. I was like, wow, look at all these
Yeah.
people standing up and clapping and giving
Hmm.
round of applauses and doing this. I was like,
Yeah.
is this our hope? Even though y'all realize that you made a poor decision?
So late. So late on it. And then there's that video of Kamala. It's like a mashup of her saying all the things he's gonna do and how he's lying and like how
That
how
one.
that's coming to first. So
Whoever
I
put
feel
that
like
together.
if anybody should will not specifically fuck around and find out content, but if anybody did fuck around and find out content, it needs to be Kamala because Kamala can just take her sound bites and be like, "What I told you,"
Hmm.
and be like, this is what's happening. Like, need somebody to be very clear about, like, we told y'all this, and this is what's happening now, and this is what we need to do, and everything. Very important to say the power is with the people and everything. Great speech. Good to see her. Good to hear from her. Again, just wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow,
Hmm.
America. Every time I see her, I'm just like, wow.
Every time.
Like the most qualified actually ever.
Yeah.
But sure.
Okay.
Sure. Did you see that video today? I put it on my stories on my personal page, but Elon like walking off the stage and Smooth not even looking for his 4-year-old son. Like he's been using his son as like a human shield,
Yeah.
pretty much. But he like gave a speech and he like finished and just like walked off, left his son, didn't look back. Like I was like, he could give a fuck less about anybody or anyone except for himself and his money. But
Yeah.
it was just like so indicative of just like how he doesn't give a fuck about nobody. Like
Nobody.
did not turn around, didn't nothing. Like got off stage and was like, "Ooh, that was good. Okay."
Hmm. He's like, all
Just
right, what's
like
next? What are we
left.
doing?
What's
All
next?
right.
Like,
Can I go to my
sir,
thing?
your
And they're
son is outside the jet. Oh, let him in. Four year
like,
old, a
what do you
4-year
mean?
old,
What do you mean?
like
He's fine.
crazy,
He's fine. You can come over
nuts.
here.
That man
No, I
is
only saw about
nuts.
the Supreme Court starting to slap his hand
Yeah,
down from
I'm
all the
like,
stuff
all
that he keeps
right,
trying to get into. Like,
yeah.
they're like, excuse me. No,
Yeah.
no, too
And
far,
maybe
too
that
much, too
is the
far.
way that they fuck this all up is again, you're starting to, of course, they're already way overstepping their boundaries, but you do have a lot of prideful people, even Republicans and conservatives, who are like, hold the fuck up. Like this is my shit. Like that terrible FBI director that was just confirmed. Um, he basically came out and told people like, don't worry about Elon's thing he sent out about like give me 3 reasons why you should keep your job or whatever the fuck he said.
Hmm.
He told them to ignore that because he was like, we're not firing anybody on my team. Like niggas don't like Elon, like even within Trump's cabinet. So I think maybe they muddle it up and fuck it up enough and piss enough people off because it's like, yo, you're overstepping your boundaries with this. So
Hmm.
it was good to see the Supreme Court slap a hand, but I'm not giving them any praise until like we're done with this administration, honestly. At any point they could change and be awful. So, and they are. So, well, most of them, 6 of them. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I don't know. I was like, the way they moving, they might piss enough people off
Hmm.
very quickly, like in high
Hmm.
places. and be like, nah, we not doing this.
Yep.
We
I
not
think
gonna do this.
that's probably the worst political move that could have happened. So,
Yeah, it's not smart, but he's not smart. Um, Anything else with the NAACP? I mean,
no, we handled.
everybody looked great. You know, I'm glad that this obviously gets bigger and bigger every year. Love Kiki's
Mm-hmm.
mention of like this means the most. Like this is,
Yes.
it
Like
all
I feel like
support.
that's the ultimate networking event for
Yeah.
all of them to get together and hang out and be like, let me give you your flowers and
Mm-hmm.
instead of it being, us in a sea of other faces at all of these other events. It's so
Yeah.
great to see.
Hoping to be acknowledged.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's great to see it here, knowing that one of us is going to be acknowledged and being
Mm-hmm.
able to honestly celebrate it. I think that's the great piece of the NAACP Image Awards.
Yeah. All right. Well, ending on good news. It wasn't so bad
I know
this
after
week, or
last
we
week.
picked not bad stories, you know. I feel like we had a good mix this week. So
After
we're
last
gonna
week was
move on.
painful.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. It is. It's gonna be again, but at least this week, we try to pick fun enough stories,
Yeah. Yeah.
So hopefully they were fun. All right. Let's move on to our advice segment, Am I a Bad Queer? Where we get real about your questions and dilemmas. Got something on your mind? Don't keep it to yourself. Send your questions to us at badqueers.com. Hit us up on IG at badqueerspod or email us at badqueers@badqueers.com. All right. This first one is from Neek. Neek says, I broke up with my ex about 2 months ago after a year of dating. There was no drama, no cheating, no major fights, just me realizing that while they're a great person, they're not my person. I didn't want to waste my time or theirs, so I ended things because I was looking for something more. Fast forward to now, and they are already in a new relationship. And not just any relationship, a very public, soft launch turned hard launch relationship.
Hmm.
Couples pics, date night recaps, which by the way, we never had. Meanwhile, when we were together, they weren't big on public displays of anything, let alone making our relationship IG official. I know I ended things and I don't want them back, but why am I side-eyeing how quickly they moved on? Am I back queer for feeling salty about this? Neek.
Hmm.
Um, okay, so Neek ended things because you knew it wasn't gonna be what it was gonna be. Um, so you just gotta leave it there. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's crazy. It's not, no, it's not crazy. I won't say it's crazy how quickly they moved on and how different their relationship currently is from how yours was, but maybe they took some notes from that and said I'm going to try something different and is doing all this and it's okay to side eye him. I wouldn't say you're a bad queer for that, but I mean, you ended things for a reason with them. You weren't feeling them, so whatever they do from now like is just what they do. So, unfollow them if you haven't.
That
Like
was my main
unfollow them.
first thought. Thank
So
you
I
for
don't,
bringing that up.
I don't know. And again, I'd be like, when did this start? If especially if they moved on so quickly, like it'd be like, is there some overlap
Hmm.
with our relationship and theirs? All valid questions to have, but you ended it. You weren't feeling it and it's over and you ended it for a reason. So you just have to move forward. I mean, and unfollow them. Like you shouldn't
Keyword.
keeping keeping tabs on them or, I don't know if they showed up in your explore page. They shouldn't, but sometimes Meta does these things. Hey,
Meta, no, Meta 100% does this.
hey,
Okay.
remember
When I got out of my
them?
relationship, Meta all
Mm,
to the top. And I said, I didn't even see this when we were in the relationship. What do you mean?
that's funny.
It's out of control because they notice that like you stop engaging and then it's like, oh, you
Yeah.
must be missing
What
this.
about
And I'm like,
them?
could you not?
Yeah.
Could you
I
not?
said, you want to speak to them? You haven't said
Right.
anything in weeks. It's like, you know why. But unfollow them and just move on. I mean, you could, talk shit to your friends, just like a good old fashioned shit talking session with your friends about it and just move on because you probably dodged a bullet. There might have been some overlap, but you dodged a bullet, I guess, by moving on. So move on, like really actually move on. So, whatever they do with their very public relationship is their business now and it has
Mm-hmm.
nothing to do with you.
Mm-mm. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna reiterate what Kris said about why you know all of these details.
Yeah.
Why were you still following them? Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it. Or at least like decrease the amount that you look at them. If y'all are still cool, there are ways to not engage with everything that they're doing. Now, I understand the deep-seated feelings of what sounds like you wanted to do some of these things, and now she is just willingly doing these things, but sounded like she was opposed to them when she was with you. And what's the difference? All I can say is self-esteem. That's all I can say. That's all I can work with. That's my only guess there. But you can't compare one relationship to the next. And you can't sit and be like, why didn't she do this with me and do this there? Like Kris said, get that out of your system with your friends. Not a lot. But like, please don't spend like months
Yeah.
hashing over every
Don't
detail. Get
it's this is one
your
session
initial
and then
thoughts
move on.
out to talk your shit and say like she would never do that shit with me. Maybe it wasn't something that like you pushed for, but the other person did. Maybe it's something where she's decided to lift her boundaries because this person was like, no, you're absolutely doing this. And they were just like, okay, because new relationship energy.
Yeah.
And you do a lot of things, like you will release a lot of things for new relationship energy. So it could just be her
Yeah.
not honoring her boundaries or not honoring her comfort because she's in a new relationship and she is smitten. And so she has decided to just be like, well, okay, it keeps them around.
Yeah.
But when I say self-esteem, it could be this person, your ex could think that this person could leave them if they don't do this. And they could think that this person is out of my league and somehow they got me. And so I just have to do everything that makes them happy. It could be that. It could be a lot of things. But guess what? You were not going to get those answers.
Yeah.
So one
It's
vent
done.
session
It's done.
with your good friends, and then you have to let it be because they are no longer with you. And you will find the person who will do the things that you like to do, and you will do the things that they like to do, and it'd be a mutually beneficial experience.
Yeah. And if you told them that these are the things you wanted, like all this like public stuff, like maybe in that debrief when you broke up with them, they were like, you know, maybe I should do that. Like
Right.
they learn from you. Like maybe that's you. Like applaud yourself. Like you're like, yo,
Mm-hmm.
wow, they're putting it into action. I taught them, and do that for your ego. Maybe they listen to you and all that
Yeah,
and
because
went
that
on
does
and
happen a
did the
lot.
things. Yeah,
That
where they're
happens
like,
a lot.
damn,
They're like,
I
oh,
guess I
I
could
could
have
have
been more
done that.
public. Man, all right, well, I'll do it with the next one.
Yep.
And they just happen to do it very quickly
Yeah.
with the next one,
And you look and you're like,
very
wow, look
quickly.
at these notes not ever being implemented over the years that we've dated, but instantly in the new one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy. There's no logic for it, but it
It's not.
happens.
Yeah.
It
No, it just
happens.
unlocks something. You fuck around and they build a playlist, a couple's playlist, and send you the link. Hear our story. Songs about our journey. It's like, what? You're like, why is Make Me Wanna on here? It's like, is that
Hmm.
about me? So anyway, just unfollow them. Like it's unfollow them at least. So at the very least. But hope that helps. Happy spring. We're coming up. We're coming up on spring.
Yes, we are. We had our 50-degree day today, and I'm joyous.
Wow, good. Good for
Oh,
y'all.
thank
Good for
you.
y'all,
Because my
honestly.
goodness, we had to
Y'all
fight the
been
last
going
couple
through it
weeks.
out there. It has been real winter out there.
Yeah. If I didn't
Yeah.
go to Florida
Hmm.
for a flag football tournament, I think I'd just be on here just looking lifeless. I'm
Yeah,
sure
I
if you
bet.
watch me in the first like few episodes of like end of January and the beginning of February, I probably look so lifeless. And then I came back from Florida. I'm like, I'm awake.
That's so funny.
Look at that.
A little bit of sun, that's all you need.
It's
Yeah,
wild.
the 757 got like 10 inches of snow. My mom and them got like a lot of snow last
Hmm.
week. So I was happy for them. It's been a while since they got that much snow. So,
Yeah.
you know, good for them.
Love to see it. All right, Neek, thank you. On to our next one. Our next Am I a Bad Queer comes from Alicia. Alicia asks, hey, Kris and Shana, love the show. Thank you. This is a general question, but am I a bad queer for judging queer folks who claim they've been delivered
Mm.
from homosexuality? All I can think is that I am delivered.
Does he? He
I love
still got a
women.
little career off of that delivered.
Women. Every time I see someone talking about how they've been set free or walked away from being queer, I can't help but roll my eyes. Like, We all know the call is still coming from inside the house. I know people have their own journeys, and I try to be understanding, but it's frustrating when they act like queerness is something to overcome, especially when they start preaching about it or using their transformation as a way to discredit the rest of us. I want to be compassionate, but honestly, it just feels like internalized homophobia wrapped in a religious rebrand. What do y'all think when you
Mm.
see this happen? Am I a bad queer for not having any patience for it? Alicia,
Hmm.
stating that it just feels like internalized homophobia wrapped in a religious rebrand
That's
is
it right there.
exactly what it is.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. They're not delivered from nothing. Queerness is not
Mhm.
anything that you have to escape from, transform from, be delivered, walked away, set free from. So yeah, that's all this is internalized homophobia wrapped in a religious rebrand. You are not a bad queer for side-eyeing it, for questioning it, especially as you listed it, the people who go back and then preach.
Oh man.
The biggest hypocrites. Okay? And then they're gonna go down low
Yeah.
and do
No,
all the
that's
things
look,
in
those
the
feelings
back.
are still there. It's
Oh,
like, all right,
it's not gonna stop. It's not gonna stop. So
look
no,
great in that dress, but you're still queer.
still queer.
It's like, yes, I know
Mm,
you went got delivered. That I mean, that's a word with the rebrand because that's
that
what it is, and they're always so vocal. But it's like, yo, why? Well, I guess they fall in line with all those like born again Christian folks that are
hmm
super vocal about the Lord, where it's like, I am so happy you found the Lord, but you do not have to go on this tour and include
Oh,
me in it.
but they
So
must.
like,
It's almost like they're repenting
yeah,
for
they
the
do.
time that they missed.
Yeah, God's like, it's cool. Just go to church and pay your
Okay.
tithes and do your thing. Be a good person. So, yeah, they're always crazy. There's a couple of people that are out there and have made a brand of it. So, very
Yeah.
interesting. They're not a bad queer for this.
I was like, you just observed the exact behavior and pinpointed exactly what these people are doing. And it's unfortunate for them. I think with you being like you want to be compassionate, I think it's to that point of their internalized homophobia is so deep that you can have compassion for them in that way, or that they don't have the community that's going to support them in the way that they should be. And they feel that this is what they have to do to gain acceptance from whomever, whether they think it's God, family, their community, whatever else. Like that's the part that I feel compassion for, because I'm like, you are just masking hard in this. And I don't know what the reason is, but for anybody and everybody, there are multiple reasons. But yeah, it's a religious rebrand.
Yeah. I don't really feel compassion for it, especially now. Maybe if it wasn't like social media around, I don't really have that much
Yeah. No,
compassion
the
for
ones
it.
that go and like preach afterwards, I'm like, I don't really give a fuck about you. But the other people where I'm just like, do
Yeah.
you feel like you have to be forced into this? Like there is that like level that I'm gonna be like, okay. But anybody else who does take it and move with it in a way to like bring down other people,
Disparage. Yeah.
yes. I'm no, fuck
Yeah.
out of here.
Yeah. I don't even know if I have so much compassion for the people who like don't go on to preach and everything because if it's anybody who's on the whole like I'm delivered from it or I don't know even if they like vaguely like I'm delivered from my sinful past but we all know that what they're talking about it's kind of like
Hmm
fuck you like it's you know what you're doing with this like and you could still have your Christian or religious journey without again disparaging the community you left. There's
Correct.
nothing wrong with us. Like your journey is your journey. We know that your feelings haven't changed at all, but
hmm
cool, again, whatever rebrand or whatever your journey is your journey. But like I guess I don't have compassion for it because we know those people who were in the community know how the Bible and how religion is weaponized against us. And now for you to like switch sides on that and to say anything to kind of add ammo because the people who are religious and homophobic and transphobic are always looking for y'all. They're always looking for the denouncing I was delivered from homosexuality and a sinful life. Folks, they are always looking for y'all to recruit y'all. So for you to be used in that way to like weaponize religion against us is crazy. Like what that feels like. And so for you to now switch sides is like, nah. Mm-mm, mm-mm.
hmm Hurt people
Don't
hurt
like it.
people.
Don't like it. Not for it. So,
But Alicia, you're not a bad queer.
yeah,
You're
mm-mm.
on it.
Yeah.
So
No
way to spot the
patience.
bullshit, honestly.
Same. Same. All right. This last one is from Liz. Liz says, "Am I a bad queer for pretending to know every niche queer celebrity?"
This is like the indie film.
This is funny as fuck. Whenever someone drops the name of some underground queer
I knew
icon,
it.
I nod, "Oh yeah, I love them." Meanwhile, I'm making a mental note to Google later. I don't want to lose my queer cred, but I also can't keep up. Am I a bad queer for faking it till I make it, Liz? Um,
This
you're
is
not
great.
like really a bad queer, but you kind of are. Like you don't have to lie to kick it. Like
Oh
just
man.
say who. Like you don't have to know everybody. I had a bad queer opinion a couple weeks back about like I'm happy I don't know all the queer folks that are out, uh, entertainers and whoever out there because it gives me an opportunity to learn about them, but it also just expands our world. Like it used to feel like there was only two lesbians in the world, and now there's so many queer folks everywhere. So it's a you don't have to lie to kick it thing. Like you could just be like, "Oh, who is that?" and like somebody tell you about them or just say no and still go Google it later. Like it's okay. You don't have to lie. Like
Hmm.
there's no reason to lie about knowing. There's so many folks to know now. And icons and we all have our own journeys to information and finding out about people. So when you find out, but you don't have to lie to people. Like nobody's gonna take your queer street cred card or something. Like it's not revoked. Um, so yeah, don't lie. You don't have to lie, Liz.
You don't gotta lie.
You don't gotta lie.
Mm-mm. So funny. I think I appreciate the fact that you do go and Google later. So you have a great Rolodex of people to know. So I feel like in that essence, like you're not a bad queer because you're taking notes and doing action. But also, like Kris said, you don't have to pretend.
Yeah.
Or you don't even have to say anything. You could just take a silent mental note to go
Yep.
and Google them later without having to like admit and be like, oh yeah, I love this. Somebody's gonna catch on to you. That you
Yeah,
just
they're
be
gonna
over here
ask you
repeating
some
it.
clarifying
Yep.
questions
They're
and
gonna sit and be like,
yeah.
that one music artist, and they're gonna be like, oh yeah, what song do you like? And then you're gonna get caught. You don't
hmm
want to do that
You don't want to be
because
that.
that's
And
gonna
that's
ruin
worse.
your
That's
queer
worse.
cred.
Now,
Yep.
now
That's
that's
what's
gonna
gonna ruin
ruin some
it.
cred. Yeah, if there was
Like
anything to ruin it, because people are like, what? Like,
the fact that
there
nobody has called
might.
you on it yet,
Yeah.
your day is coming and
Yeah.
you don't want to be
Yeah.
unprepared. So just it's okay to admit it. And then be like,
Yeah.
man, tell that person that, knows all of these people that you appreciate the fact that they tell you all of these things so that you get to expand who you're listening to and they'll appreciate that so much more.
They really are.
Mhm.
It's a conversation piece. You could be like, no, tell me more about them. No, I haven't heard about them. So yeah. Like I feel like your process with like again, like Shana said, making the mental note to Google later is like great. But like on the front end of that, like you could just if you really don't know them, just say no.
You don't know.
Like just say
It's
no
okay to
and
say that.
it's okay to say no.
It's okay.
It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Hopefully that helps. Thanks, Liz, and happy spring. All right, that is the end of our advice segment. Am I a bad queer? You could always send your questions to badqueers.com. Hit us up on IG at badqueerspod or email us at badqueers@badqueers.com.
All right. What type of bad queers will we be if we didn't have unpopular queer opinions? My bad queer opinion this week is just a reminder for the dating world as people experience it. Remember that dating allows you to get to know multiple people at once? Say you kick it with somebody, you don't have to stop dating and just date that one person because then you are in a relationship. Remember that dating is to get to know multiple people. And as queer folks, we love to all of a sudden, we like love is blind this, find one little thing, and we're like, oh my God, this is my person. I'm done talking to everybody else. You're not giving yourself the full experience. I want the queer folks to give themselves the full experience of meeting multiple people and actually dating and not necessarily U-hauling all the time because that's what happens. So this is just a reminder as we come out of cuffing season and, the sun starts to come out, the birds are chirping, daylight savings is in like 2 weeks for most of us.
Yeah, do we have that now, or is this like a Gulf
I don't,
of
I really
Mexico
don't
situation?
know.
Or
I don't know if we've decided or not. I was like, the rest of the world who listens to us, we haven't
we
figured it
don't
out.
know. He's about to sign an executive
We
order, be
haven't
like,
figured it out.
we're not gonna do months anymore. Like it's just
We
gonna
don't know.
roll into we just
We just don't know.
Just live each
So
day.
just a reminder that dating is to be experienced by multiple people. If you find that person, great, but give yourself the opportunity.
Mm.
Give yourself the opportunity and just date.
Is this a reminder? Or are you talking to somebody?
No, reminder.
Okay. You stumbled there. Just checking.
Reminder.
Okay.
I was like,
All right.
reminder. Reminder.
Heart Life Volume 2 is coming soon,
It's
y'all. Don't worry. I got her. I
not.
got her. I got her, y'all. I got her. I
Not.
got her. I got her. Thank you.
I hate it.
I don't have a bad queer opinion. This is just a community note that I need a WNBA queer reality show. I need
Ooh,
someone to
yes.
be
Ooh,
following these
yes.
queer couples.
Why haven't we had this?
Okay, I need it. I don't know if it's in production. I don't know what's going on. I want it to be current and some past players. I
Yes.
need like a queer basketball wives,
Yes.
a queer wag show. I
Yes.
need it. I needed it yesterday. I need
Hmm.
it today. I need it tomorrow. Okay. So whoever's doing the things and producing, I need it.
I love
I
this.
need it. We need it. We need it, but I need it selfishly. So, you
Who
know.
would you want them to start with?
I absolutely want Alyssa Thomas and DeWanna Bonner. They should be kind of like the balance of the show. The couple that's been around for a while. Um, Dejanay Carrington, obviously, and
Especially now that they're
Alyssa
going to be on the
Smith.
same team.
Yeah, and Alyssa Smith
Hmm.
setting
Hmm.
that up. Um, who else is out
I
there?
mean,
Brittany
we gotta
Griner.
have Brittany. They're gonna be the wholesome,
Yep, yep.
wonderful
They're
with the
gonna be the
babies and
wholesome.
everything.
Yep.
You know,
Brittany and Sherelle. And then there's a number of other folks that could bring up the rear. You could have a Courtney Williams. I don't know who Courtney Williams is dating now.
hmm
Um,
you could get Natasha
Natasha
Cloud
Cloud.
and Isabel Harrison.
The
Yep.
spice.
Uh-huh.
Yep, spicy.
But they're so
There's
cute.
so many people
They're
that they
so cute,
could
though.
put in there. So sky's the limit. There's enough players, but like I need that. I need
Mm.
it. I need it. I need it. So, and that's such an interesting thing to follow for sports. They put out like I feel like back um in men's basketball like Olympic stuff.
Hmm.
They just Netflix did a series for this past Olympics. I haven't watched that yet, but I did watch something on Max about the only team to beat the dream team is like Grant Hill and them scrimmaging them. It was really actually good. But I was like, we have all these docs about the NBA, obviously the NFL and all this other stuff. But I need this. This is what I need.
This is it.
This is what I need.
Yes.
I need somebody to get on it. So putting that out in the universe.
I support this community now.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. No, thank you.
Mm.
Thank you.
And thank whoever puts this out there in the future.
Yeah. We really
Please,
need it though. We deserve it.
please give us some credit. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Who retired could be on there? I don't I
Sue could.
I
I
know
mean,
they
Sue and Pino are obviously like that's an
Sue,
easy.
I forgot about Sue. That is, yeah, they
That's
should
an
be on there
easy.
for sure.
Just to see them
Diana should
behind the
be on there
scenes.
as well. You could
Oh
put
yeah.
Candace Parker as
We
well.
100% have to have Candace because their
Gotta have
family is great. Her
Candace.
daughter is probably funny as fuck, and
Yeah.
it would just
Yeah,
be
yeah, yeah, yeah,
glorious.
yeah. Yeah.
Also, to
So
get her
many people to
perspective
cast.
as
Hmm.
the transition happened between. Yep, would love to.
Yeah.
Love to.
Lot of layers. A lot of layers to peel back there.
Dawn,
So yeah, Dawn. So is Dawn out?
not officially,
Okay. Because I mean,
but she's with somebody.
obviously.
She's with
Yeah.
somebody.
I'll tell you off camera the jokes about that, but because they're almost done. But it's so funny to me because I was like, it probably is the case. So I'll tell you off camera.
Dawn,
Um,
yeah,
all
throw it
right.
back, bring it forward. All the
Yeah.
things. I want
Hmm.
history. I want present,
I want it
future.
all.
I want
I want it
assumptions.
all.
I want the wags. I want yes,
Hmm.
everything that you listed. I want
I
it.
want the side chicks. I want it all. I want
Yes,
it all.
the
I want it
drama.
all. I want the drama. I
Just think
want
if we
it
had had it
all.
when that game happened, not only between when DeWanna Bonner and Alyssa Thomas, when DeWanna passed the record
Oh
set by her
yeah.
ex,
Oh
like
yes. Yeah,
just
yeah,
think
yeah.
if that had happened in
Yeah.
the interviews that would
Yeah.
have happened
Yeah.
afterwards. So that's the one. And then when the Dejanay Carrington, Alyssa Smith pulling people
Hmm.
off, if that had happened and then people
That
did the
was
post
funny.
interview of that, the season would have
It's right there.
ratings
It's right there.
through the roof.
It's
Through
right
the roof.
there. It's
The
right
content writes itself.
It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like, again, there's, it's so unique in sports because, men don't want to come out yet in high numbers in a lot of sports. So, you don't really see it. But these folks are out. I mean, they could do an NWSL show as well, but definitely need the WNBA one.
No, because the WNBA one would have the vibes. They have,
of course,
personality, the characters.
I just wanted to spread the wealth. We know the end
absolutely.
We love our end of folks,
and
that should be the spinoff. But I know that there is, because you could do a whole Allie Krieger and that alone is something.
I would be in the.
Isn't Allie Krieger dating somebody now that is also? Yeah, exactly. So there is so much. Yes. So much in women's sports that they just the stones are turned and they need to leave the stones unturned. I don't know if that's the right one. Let's just finish. Let's go. It's like, I don't know where the stone is supposed to be, but
you're like, I need the stones just to be here.
Flip them. Okay. Flip the stones. I don't know.
Whichever direction needs to be flipped, we're gonna flip it.
I don't care. Just flip the stones, put it on streaming, and I'll watch it.
Put it on there, and we will be there. My God. Yeah. Just think of the viewership that would happen after that as well, because then people would just be watching for the plot, and that's okay.
My God.
That's okay.
God. So good. So good.
Okay.
So good.
Jesus.
Yeah. Definitely have to have what's her name? Sid Colson.
Oh, duh.
You gotta have Sid on there. So,
Sid would be the funniest one.
Kate Martin. Yeah.
Kate with her girlfriend, the people would flip out.
So many storylines. Oh my God. And I want it to be like, obviously I want drama in there. Like it's a reality show, but I don't want it to be like Zeus drama, Yeah. Like I don't want it to be too raunchy. Like I think it should still just be, it should be still it should still mostly be about the relationships and the behind the scenes of like being in a relationship with someone that you also work with. But also still the sports part of it. Like I would love to see the behind the scenes of, how they prepare for the season, the things, their obligations and stuff like that. So, because
it's like hearing like in Brittany Griner's book about how her wife would help her prepare and pack and do all the different things, like just to be able to see what that behind the scenes is like, because I feel like we really don't have any clue besides what we hear from the players. And like, once we started getting insights to the facilities and things like that, we were like, oh, but we truly have no background insight into what their lives are like. And I think this would be great because also just with how NIL deals are going and how women are owning it, it's going to be the same thing with them. And they're already showing what the market value is. And it's just going to keep going up. If y'all don't invest right now, get on it. Get on it.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Great community note, friend.
Yeah.
What a way to wrap up the show.
We need it.
What a way to wrap up the show. But we would never leave you without
Turn
giving
those stones
to our face. Turn them damn stones. Turn them.
Turn the stones.
My God. All right. My shout out this week goes to the National Gay and Lesbian Human Rights Commission, which is an independent human rights institution working for legal policy reforms towards equality and full inclusion of sexual and gender minorities in Kenya. So you can follow and support their work on IG at NGLH RC Kenya.
All right. My shout out is to Daniel Thomas, THEE Hairstorian, for their hilarious and clever content exploring past and present Black hairstyles and fashions. If you're looking for a good laugh, follow Daniel on IG and on TikTok. The same name. Daniel Funny as Hell is the handle. And it is just... Daniel is so funny. Like it's such good stuff. There was a good Grace Jones video that he just did, and many others. It's just he's going through past hairstyles and fashion, and the commentary is just so funny. So, I mean, and that's why his handle is Daniel is Funny as Hell. So follow him.
I love when the branding works out.
Yeah, no, it funny as hell.
We love to see it. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. We appreciate you for tuning in, and we will see you next week.
Take care.
Me again. Can we talk about things? I'm sorry that I'm